This Radharasa Sudanidhi class, continuing with verse 88, discussing the topic of resolutions, the resolution of Radharani's Manjaris. Very beautiful verse, and just read the verse in translation and continuing with our discussion from yesterday. Yari snehad radhe jishisi rati lampatya padavim gattam me sopreshtam Tirapi mama nishtam shinu yata Katakshar aloke smita sahacharya jatapulakam Samashlishyam ucher atacha rasaye twat padarasam. This verse describes, in essence, the love of Radharani for her Manjaris, the love of the Manjaris for Radharani, and it's an exchange of love. Radharani is showing how much she loves the Manjaris, and the Manjaris are showing how much they love Radharani. And in that exchange, Radharani is rewarding the Manjaris with the greatest reward. What's the best thing you can give someone? That's God, Krishna. And said of all the charities that one can give, Anadan and Panidan, Kanyadan, Shastradan, so many types of charity one can donate or give. Giving grains, Panidan, giving water, Panipyal, water, giving away a virgin daughter, Kanyadan. All types of dhan, charity. But the best, is told in the Puranas, the best of all charities is to give transcendental knowledge. Book distribution ki jai. But there's many ways to give transcendental knowledge. You can just sit down with someone somewhere and speak about Krishna, or to devotees. Kirti, Sankirtan. Speak the Kirti, the glories, the name. The Kirti means glories and fame of Krishna. And get many people speaking and many people chanting, then it's, many means Sankirti. So this is the greatest charity. And ultimately Krishna Katha is the greatest charity, but that leads one to Krishna. And you get the rare treasure, the great treasure of Krishna's love and Krishna's eternal association, eternal bliss and eternal seva, eternal loving relationship with the eternal personality of God and your eternal, transcendental, beautiful, sweet, charming, divine body. So the ultimate gift, when it's all said and done, is to give someone Krishna. Krishna's name, Krishna's form, qualities, pastimes, diksha, sarup, etc. So Radharani says, I love my Manjaris so much, what gift can I give them? What prize, what award can I give them? I have already given them my clothing, my jewelry. On many instances and occasions, Radharani has rewarded her Manjaris for various services rendered by presenting them her personal cloth. It's called Prasadi Vastra, Radharani's Prasadi Vastra. Her clothing, her choli, her petticoat, her chunari, her necklace, her diamond necklace, her ruby earrings, her sapphire rings, no problem. We wouldn't think of ever donating such a thing to anyone. Very costly. But now she's thinking, now I want to give the ultimate of all rewards. I want to give Krishna. And this is what everyone is seeking in Vrindavan. Everyone is seeking Krishna in various relationships. So she sends the Manjari, go and enjoy with Krishna. He's a lampat, a rati lampat. He will ravish you and enjoy you to the max. So the Manjari says, all right, that's your gift, I accept it. I'm your dasosmi, dasyosmi. So we were mentioning yesterday, we were describing how this particular verse and many other verses in Radharasa Sudanidhi, Vilapkusamanjali, and other verses by our Goswamis, they explain how the Manjaris are experiencing Madhur Rati, the intimate conjugal exchange with Krishna as his lover, beloved. But there seems to be a certain limit or extent of how far they how far they go, for lack of a better phrase, how much they get involved. I suppose if the Manjaris had a Facebook, they would say, in a relationship, as people say. Everyone's in a relationship. The soul is in a relationship with the body. Not a very congenial one either, usually. The soul is healthy all the time, never sleeps, always happy, and the body is hardly healthy and always sleeps and always has problems. So this is the nature. So let's explore this a little bit from other books and hear about how the Manjaris experience Madhura Rati, and then how the Acharyas, commenting on this particular verse from Radharasa Sudanidhi, give it, even the Acharyas give it a twist. Prabodhananda Saraswati, like others, is saying this is what's happening, that they're enjoying Madhura Rati, some conjugal exchanges, embraces, kisses, exchanging tambul with Krishna, the Manjaris. And then the very surprising twist, surprise ending to this Leela, which I'll read at the conclusion of the class, after we explore some of the other verses which give this view into the Manjari's private life with Radharani and Krishna. So this we heard here, Radharani's giving the order, Snehad Radhe Dishasi. Dishasi means Agya, order. Out of her affection, Radharani says, I love you very much. Can you imagine you had a girlfriend and you had a really, really super handsome, debonair, romantic husband? It's impossible to think about. We have these possessive feelings and we have these, it's natural. Love means possessive feelings. It can't but be. So then, but imagine. So yeah, I love you. I have so much affection for you. Also, here you spend a night with my beloved. Oh wow, thank you. So that's what Radharani's doing with the Manjaris. You're my maidservant. You're in the palace. You're the queen, and the king is under your control. And you have so many dasis and maidservants that brush your hair and take care of your clothes and bathe you and serve you food and your personal private cooks or whatever. And then you say, oh, you come, I like you, you're a nice servant, you're kind of cute. You go with the king tonight. Me? Okay, if you want, I'll do the needful. As Prabhupada used to say, do the needful. Do the needful. Well, here's an example from Nitya Leela of the Manjaris doing the needful. And she does it wonderfully and expertly because she certainly has lots of good teachers around her, beginning with her Yuteshwari. Every Manjari is under a Yuteshwari, Rupa's under Lalita, Rati's under Vishaka, etc. And they've seen their Yuteshwaris enjoying, they served their Yuteshwaris the most intimate moments of confidential union with their beloved Shamsundar, Priyatam Sri Shamsundar. And they've seen Radharani, who is Kalavati Radha. They've seen her expressing all the expertise and loving affairs that, and more so than are even presented by Bharat Muni in the Kama Sutras. Radharani is the origin of Kam, and she is, Krishna is the original Kamadev, and she's the original Rati. So when the original God of love meets the original beloved, then lots of fireworks arise. Because they're the ultimate original lovers. Adi Purusha means, he's not only the Adi Purusha, he's the Adi romancer. It says in Gita that Krishna is the source of everything. Ham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva vajantimam buddhavava samanvita. Everything comes from me. Love comes from me. Peace comes from me. War comes from me. Birth comes from me. Death comes from me. Sadness comes from me. Happiness comes from me. Erotic love comes from me. Illicit love comes from me. Married love comes from me. Illicit love comes from me. What doesn't come from Krishna? Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyaktimurtina, 9th chapter, Gita, verse 4. Everything is in me, but yet I'm outside of everything. Nothing exists without my awareness and my sanction. So now we see, this is Sripad in his Manjari Srupavesh, serving Radharani. And we also see in Govinda Lilamrita, and here in Radhakund and Madhyan Lila, then Kasturi and Tulsi Manjari are fast friends. Here as sadhakas and there as siddhas, let's say, they're nitya siddhas, but they're playing the role of sadhakas to teach us, coming into Gaur Lila and Dasya Rati, to teach us all about Raganuga Bhakti, Krishna's Kaviraj, Raghunath Das Goswami, Rupa Goswami. They're all Rupa Manjari. Kasturi Manjari is Krishna's Kaviraj. And Raghunath Das is Rati Manjari, or also Tulsi Manjari. Since Krishna's Kaviraj is so close to Raghunath Das, they live together at Shamakund and Manasa Pavan Ghat doing bhajan and sharing Harikatha and all the realizations and spurtis and visions and darshans of Radha and Krishna Yugal together for years, many, many years, 10, 20, 30 years, hearing from each other, associating with each other. That's the perfection of Matchata Matkata Pranas Bodhiyantas Parasparam Katayantas Chamaham Dityam Tushanti Cha Ramanti. How much, imagine, sit there in front of Vishnu's Chakravartipad's Bhajan Kutir, that also, but Raghunath Das or Krishna's Kaviraj, and imagine what kind of Tushyanti and what kind of Ramanti, Tushyanti Ramanti they had in their Krishna Katha, Bodhiyantas Parasparam, inconceivable. So there they are very good friends, and when you read his rendition of Govinda Lilamrita, which was written before Chaitanya Charitamritam, by the way. Chaitanya Charitamritam was written very late, when his hand was shaking and he went to Madan Mohan and he's all skinny and old and arthritis or whatever you get when you're old, you can't even write, can't even hold a pen. And everyone's asking him, you're such a great writer, you're such a great, you know about everything. You're so learned, you know everything about the Leela, and you're such a vast poetic writer. I was like, Govinda Lilamrita, which is the Bible, it is the Bible for all Krishna's Astakali Leela. Many subsequent books are there, or even predecessor books, like Krishnaika Kaumudi was written much before. Probably the first Astakali Leela Shastra, other than the brief mention in Padma Puran. Padma Puran mentions Astakali Leela of Radha and Krishna, and also Sanat Kamara Samhita, but Sanat Kamara Samhita is somewhat debated about the authenticity of it, or at least certain parts of it, in the scholarly circle. If you want to get into that, all that whole level up there. At any rate, Padma Puran is accepted there in ancient editions. There is mention, so it's not a new thing. But Krishna's Kaviraj opened it all up and expanded it in his Govinda Lilamrita. So when anyone's discussing books or discussing the idea of Radha Krishna Leela Smaran and Raganuga Bhakti, the prime, the mukhya praman is Govinda Lilamrita. For example, Siddha Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj in 1870 or 80, 100 some years ago, he was inspired by Radharani to explain the combined meditation of Gaur Astakali Leela and reveal it, and Radha and Krishna's Astakali Leela. So that's called Gutika. It's a blend presentation. And in that Gutika, Gaur Govinda Gutika, and there are other Gutikas. Srila Natadas Pandit has his Gutika, Madan Mohan has his Gutika, now Jai Haridas Baba just published a Gutika in Hindi a week or two ago. And they're basically very much similar to Siddha Krishnadasa's, but if you look there and you see all the references in Hindi or Bengali about the Leelas, 80% of them, or 85% are all from Govinda Lilamrita. Because everyone accepts this. Krishna, of course, we may have our favorites, but Krishna Bhavanamrita is also there, which presents some little different twist, two Krishnas in the Kunj. There's certain selected pastimes that are, again, Vishnu Chakravarti's unique offering to the world. And he has long string of unique offerings and revelations. which he's honored for and respected for. So you can compare the two books, the different angle and the different Leelas in both. And they both have their part to play, but the preference, when I asked my teacher about Leela Smaran, I said, there's many books, which do you recommend? Which have you been doing bhajan with? And his Babaji Guru and our parampara. So he said, Govinda Lilamrita. Then I said, what about this? Govinda Lilamrita. So it's Sanskrit, and anyway, that's the general trend. So here in Govinda Lilamrita, in the Madhyan Leela, here at Radhakund in the beginning, I was explaining how the Manjaris are experiencing Madhurarati with Krishna to some extent. But there are different levels in any loving affairs or conjugal intimate affairs of men and women, husbands and wives. It doesn't just start off with the grand finale, as they say. Every movie has a plot, and every movie has its scenes and sequences, and gradually building up to the final scene or whatever. Life is like that. Everything builds up to the final moment. Haribol. There he goes. So whatever we're building, we hope it's solid, and we hope it's Krishna conscious. At any rate, many things, so you'll see if you're alert. So what happens here is Krishna drops his flute because he becomes bewildered by Radharani's prem, and the gopis pick it up, and it starts a whole leela called Vamshi Chori Leela. Or maybe you portrayed this leela with your mandali, your, what do we call it, Braj mandali, or whatever it is. I think it's yours. Nice thing, very nice thing. Real good absorption. Hard seva, but really good absorption. Eat, sleep, and dream about Leela. That's intelligent. At any rate, so in this particular pastime, Krishna says, hey, where's my flute? He's my eternal companion. I know, where is it? We don't know. Oh, you dropped it when you were with Chandravali and Shaivya. You were bewildered by their loving charms, and you don't know where you left anything. When you're totally bewildered or intoxicated, you don't know where anything is. You go running out somewhere and leave everything behind. So then someone says, no, I think you have it, and then it begins a whole search party where Krishna approaches one gopi after the other. He says, I think you are, and he approaches one gopi, and she says, I don't have it, and she goes like this, with the eye movement, Hey, I don't have it. I don't have. Why are you looking for me? We don't have your flute. Why are you bothering me? No, acha. So then Vishaka indicates with her eyes that Lalita has it. Then she goes. So this is. So let's just tune in on this Vamshi Chori. Chori means thief, and it's a daily pastime. Every day Krishna drops his flute, and every day it gets stolen. But every day is a new day, and it's not like our same old, and there's no such words in the spiritual world as hackneyed. Hackneyed means I've done it again, or it's boring, no such word. Hackneyed, deja vu, doesn't exist. French term deja vu or something, I've seen it again. Nothing like that. They have terms like anurag, the intensity of loving attachment. The intensity and depth of loving attraction is newer and newer. Anu means following. Gopi anugata. Hey nevedana dara sakir anugata karo. Every day we pray to Tulsi, hey nevedan. Please give me your permission, give me your invitation. Hey nevedan karo. Sakya anugata. Anugata, gati means to go, to move. Anu means to follow after. I want to become a follower of the Sakhis. I remember when I sang that in 1975 as a 24-year-old person in America, in Los Angeles, and I thought, because I already read Krishna book and fell in love with Brajalila the year before. So this is nice, we're praying, take me to Vrindavan, I want to live in the Kunjas in the Vrindavan. So here we are, the Devi kept her word. It says Kunja Vilas. He says, I'm praying, you can go through the whole prayer, please bring me to Vrindavan, let me live in a Vilas Kunj, and let me be a follower of the Sakhis. And somehow it worked. These prayers work. It's not a joke. Everything has its connection to the next thing. It's like dominoes. You hit one and it goes, all go. So then Krishna goes to Radharani, and Radharani, when Krishna approaches Radharani, she slips away and says, "Don't touch me." Krishna quickly grabs Radharani and searches her body for his stolen flute. "Hey thief, I know you're a chore. Stop trying to break away from my embrace. I will not let you go till I get back my flute." Then Lalita furrows her eyebrows and casts a sharp glance towards Krishna. "Listen, you gentle, a gentle proud smile adorns her lips as she blasts Krishna." A gentle, how do you combine all these things? This is the art of being a gopi. A gentle, proud smile. To see as someone in all the Ujjwal Nilamani analyzes all the different aspects of this Dakshin, Ridvi, and Bhamya Prakaram, but so much detail of emotions and temperaments, and it's all those varieties for the pleasure of Krishna. We have like we have like happy, sad, like the Greek tragedy, the masks, the carvings, the masks that represent tragedy. Greek theater, the laughing mask and the crying mask. But this world is a world of emotions, a world of bhav. This is bhav. This is the land of bhav, prem. A gentle, proud smile adorns Lalita's lips as she blasts Krishna. "Hey, you wanton brute, O destroyer of women's chastity, get out of here! Radha has just bathed to purify herself for Surya Puja, so don't you dare contaminate her with your touch. Listen, you scoundrel. Shaibya snatched your flute at Kusum Sarovar when you were intoxicated by her kisses. If you don't believe me, then ask Tulsi," means Manjari, "who witnessed the whole thing. Just see. A righteous person gets blamed when a criminal misbehaves." Radharani is the righteous person and Krishna is the criminal. He's supposed to be the lover of Radharani and not kissing some girl down the street. Shaibya actually stole the flute, yet our honest Radha becomes the accused. With a movement of her eyes, Lalita indicates that Tulsi Manjari has the flute. So now this is a lead-in to how I was explaining that the Manjaris experience conjugal vilas, or at least the preliminaries of Madhurarati, of the intimate loving exchanges of lover and beloved, man and woman, Krishna and gopis. Sakhi bhav, nayaka bhav, although their bhav is not nayaka. It's gopi bhav, but not nayaka bhav. Tulsi, with her eyes, Lalita has indicated, Tulsi has the flute. As lightning disappears within a cloud, similarly, Radha slips from Krishna's clutches when his attention shifts to Tulsi. Secretly handing the flute to Rupa Manjari, Tulsi tries to leave, but Krishna forcefully molests Tulsi. As Tulsi becomes overwhelmed in ecstasy, her body trembles and her hair stands erect. Covering her face with her hands, Tulsi cries meekly. Meekly means not very seriously. Like when a child cries and he's really hurt and stung by a bumblebee in the backyard, then you know it's the real thing. So that's meekly crying, "Oh, merciful one, let me go. I am your insignificant maidservant, and I don't have the flute. Today I saw Shaibya holding it." Then Tulsi's eyes point towards Rupa Manjari. And then it goes on. So this small anecdote it shows that Krishna doesn't feel any inhibition or any fear or hesitation to molest a Manjari when he wants to. And Oh, this is interesting. Now, so that's Tulsi. Now let's see how excited Krishna gets with Rupa Manjari. Krishna releases, because she's the main Manjari, so she's going to get a good dose. Krishna releases Tulsi and approaches Rupa Manjari, who secretly passes the flute to Lalita, naturally, being in her parambara, right? Because Tulsi is under Rupa, and Rupa is under Lalita. You see how the progression? Tulsi had the flute. Radharani passed it to Tulsi, because Tulsi's like this with Radharani. Tulsi and Vishaka. Tulsi Manjari means Rati Manjari. Rati Manjari is Vishaka, and Vishaka, Tulsi, this is in our line, a Vaitu line. So then Radharani gives to either Vishaka, but in this case gives it to Rati. Rati gives it to her boss, so to speak, Rupa. Rupa gives it to her boss, Lalita. Now it's Rupa, but Krishna is approaching Rupa, but without a moment's notice, instantly Krishna embraces Rupa Manjari and searches in her blouse. Then he exclaims, "Hey thief, where did you hide my flute?" While trying to block Krishna's hands, Rupa Manjari proclaims, "Yes, I am the thief. You have proven this by not finding your flute. Well, you lumpat, you were very lucky today. For today you have fulfilled your desire to fondle my breasts and embrace me. So now you can go call the gopis with your flute. You are very anxious to pollute all the chaste housewives with your embraces. Thus you yourself have hidden the flute somewhere, and on the pretense of searching for it, you've come here to molest us." Then Rupa Manjari looks towards Lalita. So here is an example of the two chief Manjaris, Rupa and Rati, enjoying certainly some extent of Madhura Rati, the conjugal exchanges of men and women. This isn't the ordinary behavior of a master with the dishwasher. If you're in a house and you have some ladies working for you, in India they have many ladies washing clothes, so the master of the house doesn't come up and embrace them and fondle their breasts. I don't think so. It's a little bit over the top. So the Manjaris are servants, they're maid servants. They wash Radharani's clothes and they iron them, they prepare them, they put them in a box, they take them out in the morning, they choose which clothes, and because they know exactly which ones Radharani wants to wear each day. They're in charge of all these things. But this shows the Madhura Rati right from the Govinda Lilamrita. But all the different passages that we can read, such as very beginning first verse of Vilap Kusumanjali, which of course is taken from different viewpoints, but Tulsi Manjari again is its relationship here between Tulsi Manjari and Rupa Manjari, as we just heard. In Govinda Lilamrita, oftentimes we'll hear Tulsi Kasturi, Tulsi Kasturi, Tulsi Kasturi, because Kasturi is the author. Krishna's Kaviraj, and Tulsi is Raghunath Das. As I said, they were closest bhajan partners here in Shamakund, and they're also there in the Nitya Leela. So in all respect, in the Mangalacharan, to begin any book, you see in the front of many ISKCON books or other books by Gaudiya Math, the beginning has what they call Mangalacharana. These Mangala, of course, means auspicious invocation, auspicious invocatory prayers. We're trying to invoke or draw down the mercy of Krishna, Panchatattva, Vaishnavas, or the author of the book, or the players in the drama, who's ever in the book. We're trying to invoke their auspicious presence and blessings for the writer who is about to write this book and the reader who is about to read it. So this is called Mangal Acharan. And it's a common thing everywhere. The beginning verses of every chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita have Mangal Acharan, and oftentimes they're written in Sanskrit. And of course they're prayers usually about Lord Chaitanya. because each chapter is about Lord Chaitanya, and sometimes also Radha and Krishna, if they're featured in a chapter. And those Mangalacharana prayers by Krishna's Kaviraj are generally in Sanskrit. Then after that he goes into Bengali, because Chaitanya Charitamrita is written in Bengali. Because the Govinda Lilamrita wrote in Sanskrit, and later it was translated into Bengali so people could understand it. So when they asked him to write about Lord Chaitanya, he said, listen, Krishna, he's not a Bengali, so you can use Sanskrit to describe Krishna. But when you describe Gauranga, he's born in Bengal, and Gaudiyas are Gauda, from Gauda Desh. They're all from Bengal, and it would be nice if you could write it in Bengali for all the people, easily digest it. So he did, and such beautiful poetic Shuddh, it's called Shuddh Bengali, Kavi, that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he glorified this piece of this poetic masterpiece. He's a Kavi. Kavi means poet. He's not an ordinary Kavi, he's a Kaviraj. In Chaitanya's Leela, there are 8 Nitya Siddhas that are known as Ashta Kavirajas. There's Govinda Kaviraj and Krishnadas and like that. Of course, Krishnadas is also one of the Asta Goswamis. But then he's like the king of the king, Krishnadas. But in that list, it's Ramchandra Kaviraj, Govinda Kaviraj, Kavikarnapur Kaviraj, Nrsimha Kaviraj, Bhagavan Das Kaviraj, Gopi Raman Kaviraj, and Valavikanta Kaviraj, and then Sri Gokul Kaviraj. There's Ashta Kavirajas, and they're all in the Yoga Pit. So he's a great Kavi, so he wrote this book. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, people in the future will learn Bengali. People from Europe and America and Russia, whatever, they will learn Bengali so they can study and read the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the original language. And it's come to pass. Many, many Western devotees, and Indians also, they've learned Bengali so they can study Chaitanya Charitamrita in the pure original language without the Russian translation or English or whatever. Like the translator of all these books, Advaita Dasaji. So this first verse is the Mangalacharan, and it says this: Tvam Rupa Manjari Sakhi Pratita Purismin Pumsa Parasya Varanam Nahi Pashyasiti Bimbadare Shattam Anagata Bhatrikaya Yatte Vyadayi Kim Utach Chuka Pungavena. It's a very interesting translation. My dear friend Rupa Manjari, Tvam Rupa Manjari Sakhi. Oh Rupa Manjari, you're my friend, you're my Sakhi. In Brajapur, Purismin, Pratita, like Pratishta, you know Pratishta, the word Pratishta. Pratishta means fame. Pratita Purismin. And this Pure, Brajapura, you're very famous. And what are you famous for? You're famous for your chastity. You're the most sati, chaste ladies. You don't even look at the faces of any other men. So it's very surprising that your lips, Bimbadara, that are as beautiful as red bimba fruits, they have been bitten. Shatam means bites. They have been bitten although your husband is not at home. Has this maybe been done by some best of parrots? So then the verse is clearly saying that someone other than her husband has bitten her lips. And she's a Manjari, and she's married, so that means Krishna. And that means he's enjoying Madhurarati, or intimate pastimes, with her. And that's what many acharyas say. But then this verse explains that that's one explanation, but what my guru is told, and many Advaita's guru, and what's told by Ananda Gopal Goswami and Srila Anantadas and other places mentioned, because they're tadatmika, and this is a point of tattva and truth also. The Manjaris are tadatmika with Radharani because they're one with their Mahabhav, and whatever Radharani experiences, they directly is experienced by reflection, by transferal, whatever you want to say. So when Radharani is in the kunja getting embraced or kissed by Krishna, then the Manjaris get bites on their lips. If the Manjaris are down in Seva Kunj arranging for Radharani's evening pastimes, in the morning they may be sent there to make very elaborate arrangements for flower beds and whatnot for the evening pastimes in Seva Kunj and Nidhiban. But that particular day Radharani has been prohibited from going out to Surya Kund, and she's sitting home in Yavat crying and very unhappy. So as soon as Radharani starts crying, feeling unhappy, the Manjaris that are serving her and her paksha, her group way down in Seva Kunj, they start crying. And they know exactly, oh, Radharani's not being let out. This is very sad. So they're like this. Even they have stories in the modern world about twins and duplicates, identical twins, sisters and brothers. The brother's living in England and the twin brother is living in India, or he's visiting India. And then his brother falls sick in England, in the old days before cell phones and all these things. And he's very, very sick. And then the brother in India, he says, oh, I don't feel good. I think my brother's very sick. I think he's really sick. He's been hospitalized. And then the brother may even die. And then the other brother can feel it. There's been studies like this done in psychology, how the feelings that you can feel. And we talk about mental telepathy and ESP and all these things, clairvoyance and reading other people's minds. So this is a known fact that twins, they can feel, oh, I feel very bad. I think my sister got in an accident. And then an hour later you get a phone call. Oh, your sister's been hospitalized. Oh yeah, I felt something. Only twins would know. You can ask the twins in Mayapur about this fact also. It's a very common thing. So that's because there's some kind of oneness. There's two forms and two individuals where they have some kind of oneness in feelings or some kind of karmic connection. So what to speak of the Manjaris that are the Nityasiddha Manjaris of Radharani, they're Kaya Vyuha of Radharani. They're directly expanded from her body. Just like how much the mother feels what the baby's feeling, understands. And he's just giggling and making all funny sounds, and the father doesn't know what's going on. The mother says, oh, he's hungry, or now she knows his language, and she knows his vibration, and she knows his communication, because she's one with the heart. It's very common. The father was half of the production team. He's like, what's wrong with the baby? Why is he crying? No, it's because of this and that. Oh, you know? Or you see the child goes, wah, 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 whatever, who knows what he's speaking. But the mother knows, oh, now he's hungry, or now he's tired, or now... And the father will say, how do you know? I said, no, we know. We know, mothers know. So how much Manjaris we have some ideas if we're observant and we've been around and seen things and studied life in general. We can have a deep understanding. It's easy to understand how Manjaris are so tadatmaya with Radharani. So therefore, what's being presented here is that Rupa Manjari, she's arranged for Radhika and Shyamasundar to meet in a cave in Govardhan Hill. And we hear about all these caves in Govardhan Hill in this purport, and also in the Govardhan Astakam of Das Goswami Pad. There he says, Giri Nikunja, that he's glorifying Giriraj as being so fortunate to be the arranger of providing so many caves for the intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna. But, as I've inquired about this, where are these caves? They're mentioned there, but there's so many Leela Stalis. The only gufa that we have is some bhajan gufa of Krishna, or what do you call it, Raghava Goswami from Mathura, who is not Raghava Pandit from Bengal. He never came here. But Raghava Goswami, who is featured in Bhakti Ratnakara when they came to Vrindavan and took the chapter 5, Mathura Mandala, the Prikma. So he's a partner there in that tour, Raghava Goswami, a Brahmin from Mathura. And he did bhajan in that cave, as many sadhus have. It's after Punchari, after the tail of Govardhan, on your left-hand side, maybe Mandali. It's called Mandali Kanda or Kundali or something. Mandali Kanda, so it means cave. But that's, maybe they say that's a Leela Stali, but I haven't seen anything written. So no one really knows where they are, but because they're all very hidden, they're very hidden. I know sometimes when I go and Govardhan Parikram in the morning, I see some trees and there's some kind of hole there in the side of the mountain. Looks like a cave. And we can't go explore it, but I think maybe that's one of those caves Raghunath is talking about. Because you'll see some, it's dark, a dark circle, like what caves look like when you've seen in the mountains. And it's dark as the sun's rising, but it's all, this mountain is there being illuminated, but it's all dark. There's some little bushes around it, kind of hanging over the entrance. It looks like, but if we have Prem Drishti, then we could see Radha and Krishna coming out and running home or something early in the morning. Because I go in Parikram 4 o'clock, 5, like that. So here they are, and Rupa is secretly looking through a hole in that cave, however that works, to witness their sweet loving pastimes. Radha and Shyam are intoxicated with each other's presence, and they're playing their wonderful loving pastimes. And as a result, Srimati's lips were bitten by Shyamasundar. The relationship between Radhika and Rupa is so pure that all the signs and marks of Krishna's lovemaking on the body of Radharani automatically and simultaneously appear in the transcendental form of Srimati Tulsi Manjari, Rati Manjari. That's Tanatmaya, oneness. Rupa, such as bite marks, they become manifest on her body. Rupa Manjari has forgotten herself due to the ecstasy, but she's not aware of this reflection. She's reflecting like a mirror reflects your image. You look in the mirror and you say, oh, there's another me. There's me here and there's me in the mirror. So the Manjaris are a mirror, a reflection of Radharani, a bimba, prem bimba. Bimba means mirror. They're, I think it's pratibimba. Pratibimba means mirror, pratibimba. So they're a pratibimba of Radharani's heart's prem and her experience and her transcendental form. A mirror of her love, a reflection. And she thinks to herself, then my Sakhi, this is Rupa, my Sakhi Tulsi Manjari has not seen these sweet pastimes that I'm seeing. Alas, where is Tulsi right now? So when Tulsi meets Rupa Manjari, Tulsi notices Krishna's bite marks on Rupa's lips and jokingly asks her, oh, my Sakhi Rupa Manjari, you're famous in Braj for your chastity. You never look at the faces of other men. How is it your husband has gone off to Mathura to buy some cows for a few days? How is it that your lips, I see, have been bitten? Has some great parrot landed on your face and bitten your lips, thinking that they were some shiny, ripe, delicious, tasty, red bimba fruits by mistake? So this is this idea that Krishna's signs of love are reflected on the Sakhis or Manjaris is mentioned, alluded to in Govinda Lilamrita 11.137. Sprishati yadi mukunda radikam tad sakinam bhavati bapushi kampa shweta romancha vaspam adara madhu mudasyas chet pibat yesha yatnad bhavati batatad asam mata atad chitram etad. How amazing! When Mukunda touches Radhika, her Sakhis cry in ecstasy, and their bodies tremble, perspire, and are studded with goose pimples. And when Krishna blissfully drinks the honey of Radha's lips by kissing her, all the Manjaris go mad. So this is another example of this is the general consensus of our acharyas and our teachers, our contemporary teachers, and these are the commentators. Because this verse is a little puzzling, that's why there's different viewpoints to support either way. Yes, see, this is proof, verse 1 of Vilapkusa Manjali, and some of the verses I mentioned, this is proof that the Manjaris, they fully enjoy with Krishna. And so they're practically on the same level as the Sakhis, but our acharyas, mostly they present that the Manjaris are simply, because they're servants and that's their sthaya rati. It's called Bhavalas Rati. They're not in Sakya or Madhurya Rati. They're in Madhurya Rati as a class, but their particular emphasis is that sometimes it's called a sanchari and sometimes it's called a very special form of sthaya rati. It's Madhura Rati with like a line under it. It's a variety of Madhura Rati, special variety called Bhavalas Rati. Ulas means to rise, to manifest, to rise. And Bhav means Bhav. So they're one with Radharani's Mahabhav, one with the purity and intensity of her loving heart and emotions and mind. So whatever feelings rise in Radharani, whatever sattvic bhavs, whatever she anubhavas and sanchari bhavs and sattvic bhavs appear as a result of her ecstatic experience and her sthaya rati of Madhura Rati with Krishna, Nayaka Bhav, then that rises in the minds and hearts, that bhav, because they're fully identifying with Radharani. And the Sakhis don't have this Bhavalas Rati. They have Madhura Rati. This is a unique feature of the Manjaris, because they're Radha Sneha Adik. They have so much extra and additional affection for Radharani that they're allowed entrance right into Radharani's heart, and they're allowed entrance in the most confidential private settings in Nibriti Nikunj, when Radharani's privately enjoying with Krishna. Manjaris are there in the beginning of the conjugal vilas. Sakhis are there in the beginning, bringing Krishna into the kunj or inducing Radharani to relax and enjoy with Krishna. And then there's a certain time when they all scoot out, they all run away, and they all flee from the kunja. They know now it's time to go. Radharani will be embarrassed, or she'll be hesitant or disturbed by her presence, because some of these Sakhis are older, like older sisters, and some are her age. And the Manjaris they're just like her little servants or little sisters. She doesn't feel any inhibition. We don't feel embarrassed in front of the mirror. We don't, I shouldn't stand in front of the mirror with my clothes off or whatever in the bathroom. The mirror is just me, it's just you in the mirror. The mirror is your reflection, it's just you and you in the bathroom. The door is closed and you're brushing your hair or dressing or whatever you do over there. And so Radharani, these gopis are the mirrors. I see them as I see myself. I treat them as I treat myself. This is a very special intimacy of the Manjaris. So this is the idea that they support, and Radharani shares these feelings, and this is by it's called attribution. By attribution and identification, the Manjaris are experiencing everything Radharani is experiencing. They don't have any desire to meet intimately with Krishna. Now there's another explanation of this verse which represents the viewpoint of the commentators and also of most of the modern acharyas, and that's given here. Other acharyas take the meaning, so there's two meanings. One is that the Manjaris are directly enjoying with Krishna, which is not the general accepted modern viewpoint. And the other is that they never on any instance enjoy. As I was mentioning yesterday, and the example from Ujjvala and Nilamani, when two Sakhis, I can't remember, maybe Chitra, Lita, Vishaka, and Krishna, they accosted one Manjari named Mani Manjari on the footpath right outside the door of a flower kunj. And they said, Mani Manjari, you're so lucky today. You just came along this footpath and Krishna's by himself and he's really in a mood for loving pastimes, and he was just eager to meet some beautiful Kishori Gopi, and here you are, and this is your golden opportunity, and why don't you enjoy with Shyam? And he's very eager to accommodate you and to be with you. She said, no, I'm Radharani's loyal maidservant. I'm totally sold out and dedicated to Radharani. I never entertained such a thought, even in my dreams. And they said, no, and Lita and Vishaka said, no, it's all right. Krishna, we enjoy with Krishna all the time. It doesn't affect our relationship with Radharani. Radharani is still our best friend, and she loves us and we love her. It's okay. And Krishna doesn't mind. Radharani would mind at all. You go in this kunj and you enjoy with Krishna, and this is you can. It's really, you'll have a really good time, and you can't even imagine how much bliss you'll experience. She said, no, I telling you, I accept. Yes, it must be amazing to be with this lampat rati lampat, as this verse in Radharasa Suranidhi is describing Krishna's the rati lampat of Radharani, the womanizer, the romantic lover. I accept all that. But for me, I find much more happiness in serving the lotus feet of Radharani as her kinkari. So I offer pranams to your present offering of this golden opportunity, but I decline. So then, that's in Ujjwal Nilamani. Now these Sakhis, Lalita and Vishaka, they go later to report to Radharani. They say, Radharani, do you know this Mani Manjari? Oh yes, she's one of my Manjaris. She's one of my maidservants. We just met her in the footpath. We offered her Krishna's loving, to spend a few hours with Krishna. The chance of a lifetime, the golden opportunity. And she's so faithful and so loyal to you that she completely turned down and said, no, I'd rather serve Radharani's feet. This is a greater pleasure than that. I can't think of any higher pleasure than that. And this is the sum and total of the basic Gaudiya conception of the Manjaris. Because we're propagating, teaching Manjari Bhav, maidservants. If you want to be have conjugal vilas or rati vilas with Krishna, then you go to Nimbark Sampradaya, where they have Sakhi Bhav. And that's their teaching, and that's their goal. So here he's saying, this is the meaning. There's another meaning. And that the kinkaris are never enjoyed by Krishna. It may be mentioned that they refuse or show distaste, but that does not mean that Krishna will not have his way, have it as he wants it. No one can, after all, refuse the will of Krishna. So they may not, the Manjaris, Sri Radhika's Manjaris may avoid bodily contact with Krishna, but they cannot altogether refuse it. Therefore, they say, the Acharyas, no matter how sweet the above explanation is, maybe the meaning of this verse should be taken literally. So, Krishna bitter lips or not, so this is basically what I can understand from these verses, and I want to also pursue this point, that all these discussions where we hear Krishna exchanging some of the preliminary loving exchanges of the lover and beloved, exchanging with the Manjaris, which would ordinarily be shared with Radharani and the Sakhis, there seems to be some limit. Embraces, kisses, and we read some other verses in this class how Krishna gave his tambul and he kissed them and passed his tambul into their mouth, and quite a lot of intimate exchanges between Krishna and Manjaris, but never to the full extent that we hear described in Govinda, Gita Govinda, which is really high intimate explanation of the intimacies of Radha and Krishna Yuga, or in Govinda Leelamrita, Madhyan Leela, or Nisha Leela, in other places, but we never seen any description anywhere in any of our Gaudiya Granthas about the Manjaris. So apparently there is some limit. Because basically that's not their Stairati, as I mentioned. Their Stairati is not Nayaka Bhav. Their Stairati is Bhavalas Rati, is there in this Dasi Bhav. The Nayaka means the heroine, the beloved, the sweetheart, the lover and the beloved, Krishna and his sweethearts. As Prabhupada would say in his Krishna book, the cowherd damsels of Braj. The cowherd damsels of Braj, or the darlings, the cowherd darlings, in the Bhaktisiddhanta's writings, the sweethearts, the darling sweethearts of Braj. So they're always in the mood of being they're dasis. That's their sabhav and their abhiman, their mentality. So they always move on that. So this is, we can read the Leela. And as is mentioned here, there's two interpretations to this verse from Ilap Kusumanjali. So most of our acharyas, they propound that manjaris are reflecting the emotions, Rupa Manjari is reflecting the emotions of Radharani. Now this Leela will conclude the last few minutes describing the Leela behind this verse, which I'll read again in case you lost what we're discussing. Verse 88. O Radha, although you may, out of your love and affection for me, Radha Sneha Dishasa, you may order me to go and enjoy with your beloved Krishna, who will act like me, like a lampat. He will be a debauch with me, someone who's very greedy and lusty to enjoy women. But you should hear my mama nishtam, my vow. I will do as you say. I will tightly embrace Krishna, and really tightly, because in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Krishna's in Radha Bhav as Gauranga Mahaprabhu in the Shikshastakam, he's saying, Ashlishyava mam parvatam panashman. Ashlishya means embrace. It just means, you may embrace me, crush me with your loving embrace, or you may ignore me by not being present before me. That verse, last verse of Shikshastakam. But here in the Sanskrit, Prabhupada Saraswati, Shripad and Manjari through absorption of his identity as a Manjari, he's saying, Sam Slishya Uchar. Sam Slishya Uchar, which I mentioned yesterday. Uchar, as we say, there's three kinds of chanting. Two are japa and one is kirtan. Kirtan is uchai. And japa is manasik and upamshu. Soft whispering that only you hear and not even the person next to you, that's called upamshu. And then manasik, where even the tongue is not moving. These are the two ways to chant japa. If you want to do kirtan, then you do uchai. So here it says uchayar means forceful, robust, which I explained yesterday. And sam means completely, samyak. Sam is a prefix which means samyak, or completely. I will tightly embrace him. Actually, I will completely envelop him and crush him in my arms like a bear hug. Some slishya, bear, balu, balu, in the Indian balu. Bear is just completely, some ashlishya, uchar. Some means a complete embrace, and uchar means forceful, like rib-crushing embrace. That's tight, that's intimate, that's Madhura Bhav. Then I will smile at him, and in that romantic way, enticing way of lovers looking at ladies looking at their beloved. And then goose pimples of ecstasy, as some translators translate that as thrill bumps of joy. Because that sounds weird, goose pimples. Those little bumps on your skin, thrill bumps of joy. But still, I will mostly relish, he says, atacha rasye tvat padarasam. But really, for me, I want the ras, I want the taste of padarasam, of serving your lotus feet. So here's the Leela. It's Saubhagya Purnima. It's a special night, Saubhagya. He says in August, it may be the same as Maharaj, because Saubhagya means so fortunate. The most auspicious night for an extramarital triast, it's a full moon night, which means a very romantic time to enjoy the lover and beloved. Tonight all the Sakhis are searching for Shyam Sundar. The party of Radha's rivals, the friends of Chandravali, will do everything they can to stop Sri Radha from meeting Krishna tonight. Shripad in his Kinkari Manjari form, by Radharani's grace, has managed to deceive Chandravali and her party and arrange for Radha to meet Shyam Sundar. Radha is very satisfied with Tulsi's expert seva. With Shripad's expert seva. So Radha wants to show how pure the maidservant's attitude is. The maidservant, in this case Shripad, is completely loyal to Radha and never desires Krishna's company for herself. Although Radhika's girlfriends like Lalita and Vishaka sometimes enjoy with Krishna, even they are more happy when Sri Radha meets with Krishna, like Lalita. Because, they have love for Radharani, they're her paksha. Radha's dedicated Manjaris only think, I have offered my body to Sri Radha's lotus feet. The Manjaris are so sweet and beautiful and charming. They themselves could be Yuteshwaris, group leaders, but they do not desire this position at all. Nevertheless, Krishna still approaches the Manjaris just to witness the sweetness of their reaction. Krishna is really naughty. Can you imagine? He's attracted to every single lady in the entire universe. Every single woman, even everyone's attracted to Krishna. And he comes up and starts trying to woo a Manjari, and with all his clever, enchanting, captivating looks and glances and ways, and he wants to make the Manjari squirm and tremble and just to test her. So he just to witness the sweetness of their reaction. At that time, the Manjaris make Krishna float in an ocean of bliss by saying to Krishna, Hey Madhav, I have offered my body to Sri Radha. I cannot give you my life. I have offered this body to Radha. I can give you my life. I will die for you, but I will not give you my body. Very interesting. So now, the commentator, the Acharya, gives a twist to the ending, because the verse says that they kissed Krishna, wrapped him in a tight embrace. They smiled and felt ecstatic. That's what it says. Then he says, on Purnima, Swamini Radha proudly announces, Hey Priyatam, today my maidservant saved you from the grip of Chandravali and her friends and brought you to my kunja. You should first unite with my Manjari and reward her for her service. So Krishna, listening to Radharani's request, he will see and he will observe and enjoy the pure mood of the Manjaris. Therefore the word Rati Lampatya Padavim, Krishna will take the position of a lampat, means that he will become greedy to taste the devotee's loving service. So he's thinking, I must give a fitting reward to this Manjari because she's such a dear servant of Radharani, I must reward her. Hearing Srimati Radharani's request, because Krishna also serves Radharani, then Nagar means the romantic lover. He rushes towards the Manjari, but the maidservant runs to the side of Radharani, and she holds on to Radharani tightly. What a scene, can you imagine? She's holding, save me. She runs to Radharani, holds her tightly, and she says with a smile, Oh Radhe, save me from the hands of your bold lover. Oh Swamini, I'm taking shelter of you. Observing the purity of the Manjari's attitude of seva, the divine couple, Yugal Sarkar, Radha Madhav, they become, they see that they relish the sweetness of the fearful condition of the Manjaris. Manjaris actually, she's fearful. Oh, don't do this to me. I'm Radharani's servant. The maidservant simply glances at Srimati's feet and says, Hey Swamini, I have no one else but you. In life or death, the sweet nectar of your lotus feet is my life-sustaining amritam. Why are you ordering me to go to your lover like this? So she's so embarrassed, and she says, Radharani, what are you doing? Ordering me. So that Radharani says, oh, okay, forget about it. So this is a very sweet exchange where Radharani and Krishna team up together to reward the Manjari, to glorify the Manjari, show her glories as a dedicated, surrendered servant of Radharani, and to teach the whole world how beautiful and sweet are the exchanges of the Manjaris and Krishna and Radharani. So we'll continue tomorrow with verse 128, which discusses the 4 glories of Radharani and her seva, because that's the whole title of the course, the glories of Radharani and her seva. So that'll be tomorrow. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Prabodhananda Saraswati Pada ki Jai, Shri Kartik Devi Radharani ki Jai, Shyamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhana ki Jai.